Good afternoon, evening, or whatever it is when you see this. Welcome to GrayManPrepping. It's time for Survival Saturday, and there it goes. Tonight's topic is personal safety with alone, and got Mark up here with me. I pinned the link there for, I think everybody in here is trustworthy if one want to come up here. So, but first I'm going to go up here and review who's all in here because I see more coming in here. All right, so Mark was the first one to check in. Then Shadow Scout Swede, followed by Phelan Clan Wolf. Walt Rogers. I'm sorry. Walt Rogers was fourth, and he goes, "Do I get a participation trophy?" Then Lori J came in. She's got to fly. She's at work. So she's going to be maybe listening a little bit as stuff goes on. Suzanne Galley is here. Daniel Berry Sports Highlight. King Poopa. Hey, Dustin. Mother Earth Garden Club is here. Savage Lee's in the house. Sue Me is here. Moon Over Miami's here. And here's Shadow Scout Swede. And see who else? Christy Betts is here. And Randy Trustdale is here. Tammy Harder's here. And Lewis, it's the Marshmallow Man, is here. All right. So, big day today. Anybody watching the news? Which I wasn't watching the news until I came in and started setting stuff up about 45 minutes ago. Let me hydrate here a little bit. Okay. Ryan the Gamer just came in. Kalen Strain just came in. All right, so I'm going to touch on a little bit right now on the elephant in the room, and then we'll get to this. And we'll touch upon the same thing over there. So Savage Aragon says praying for those lost in the Trump rally today. Yeah, I was Jeremy over at Tennessee Tactical One put sent out a clip of it. I saw it, started doing it, brought up on the news. The news really pissed me off. All but a couple were saying apparent or possible shots fired. Anyways, so yeah, I could, when I was watching, I could see someone double over holding his side off in the direction where I tracked from way he turned his head. I guess he got hit on the second thing in the air as it clipped his either his ear or his scalp here. At his angle, it kind of looked where it was going to, and I saw someone doubled over sideways. So, anyways, bad stuff today, guys, as far as that goes. However, don't judge me too hard on this. Oh, Shadow Scout Swede posted that he's been a member for 8 months. Woo! While I was watching it, and I was watching it the second time, rewatched what Tennessee Tactical put out there. What popped into my mind was Teddy Roosevelt when he was running for a second time around and started the Bull Moose Party by saying, it's going to take a little bit more than a little bullet to bring this bull moose down. So, okay. Lewis just threw up 5-1. Okay, they're being grabbed. Okay, so King Poopa got a membership. Moon Over Miami got a membership. GT Junior Grows in Alaska got one. How to Garden got one. And Aussie Life got one. Cool. All right. Savage Lee, you're kind of right there. And like Moon Over Miami said someone was playing. All right. Okay, so let's get into into the topic here first, and then at the end of it, we're going to revisit what's going on around today. All righty, so what do we got here? So, wrong button. Sorry, guys. There we go. All right, so personal safety when alone. There's going to be two parts of this. One is situational awareness. The other one is safety other than bad actors. Okay, so let me get into this here.
That was more my idea of safety when you're alone. Like, there's nobody there to help you. You're by yourself, and that's my goal, not safety in a public place while giving a speech.
Yeah. But so what are you doing at the time thinking about? Are you traveling? Which goes along with what Mark was saying. That works both ways. Do you have everything in your car that you're going to need? Do you have all your medicines with you? Do you have a vehicle kit? Do you have a personal kit in the car as well? Are you working? Do you have everything you need at work? Are you out partying with friends? Or are you coming back from a party? Or are you just out, you're by yourself out at like New Year's Eve party? You're by yourself, but you're surrounded by a bunch of people. Are you, being safe and stuff out there? Do you have the things you need to get home? Are you out shopping? Etc.
Are you out in the woods by yourself building a cabin?
Yeah. Touching on this quickly, personal safeties when working alone. Even if you're like one of the ones that get stuck late at night, working in the office, is it safe? You got to assess the risk. Is it worth staying here and working? Or is it like, hey, I heard crazy sounds. I'm bugging out of here. Sorry, boss. We'll finish it tomorrow. Do you have a safety plan? Do you have people to be in contact with? All types of things to think about for something like that. Now, a lot of this goes on the same thing as far as, are you traveling? Do you have, are you staying connected with people as you're traveling? When my wife and I, either one of us are traveling back and forth from California to here, we're constantly texting each other every time we stop for a potty break, every time we stop to gas up, every time we pass a certain landmark. Oh, Lewis is here. Every time we pass a certain landmark. I mean, it's like I'm driving along. I don't stop at Battle Mountain in Nevada there. But as I'm driving by, I just text her BM, and I hit it. She knows that's Battle Mountain. And when I go through Twin Falls, I'll text her TF or Twin Falls. She knows what that means, and vice versa. And so we stay connected. Time travel. What time are we leaving in the morning? To having enough sleep, to not wanting to be traveling with the sun in our eyes, going through a certain part of the road, especially heading from California back here. We try to get out early enough so we're up over the Rockies and coming down out of the Rockies, so we don't go over that hitting Donner with the sun hitting us in the eyes going, oh, I can't see the road. If you time it wrong, that's the way it is. So there's a lot of things to think about. So I'm just double checking this on the chat here. So there's a lot of things to think about that way. Going shopping. What do you guys want to talk about going shopping and personal safety?
No. I have a different storyline with my wife sitting right here. If you want me to roll on this for a second.
All right, Shadow, you were starting to say?
I said that I am probably the only one who do that. Think about my safety when I'm going shopping.
Well, I know. I've always, if I've been out shopping, even when I'm shopping out with the rest of the family. Even from the time I first started in law enforcement, it's all going to Sun Valley Mall, going to the Willows, going out to Park and Shop. These are all the little shopping centers and stuff. It's always looking around, see what's going on, because there's always idiots, idiots around doing stupid things. And then when it gets late at night, oh yeah, I'm on yellow alert. DEFCON 2. Yes, so it's.
I think it's also. I think it also has the big part of where you live in the world too.
Mm-hmm. Where I'm at
up
now,
here, I sleep with my doors unlocked. Up here, I sleep with my doors unlocked, but I got a big dog at home, so.
Yeah, around here, when I go shopping, the main thing I'm worried about, all right, do I got enough gas to get into Idaho Falls and gas up if I need to? Is it raining out? Is the road safe? Time of day for the light shining in your eyes while you're trying to drive down the highway. Is it too dark? I hate driving at night now. Once I'm in Idaho Falls, my alert level drops a little bit because there's more people around. It's just, but then again, with more people around, a different, radar goes up looking for stuff like that. But yeah, it's, it's a whole, and like you said, where you live, here, it's a lot more mellower than it is in back in California where the wife's at, which is a lot more mellower than up in over in Oakland or certain parts of Los Angeles or up in Seattle or New York City or Chicago or Detroit. Yeah, there are certain areas that's like, no, I'm not even going to go there. CR is in the house.
So I made the grave mistake one time, and my wife is sitting right here about to sneer at me, by telling my wife, hey, because she can see my location on my phone. I said, if you see my phone not moving for a few hours, call the meat wagon. And that was a joke. Well, not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, I was out at the property on the tractor, and I really wasn't moving physically far. I mean, I was within a 50-foot radius pulling trees out with the tractor, and she decided to check my location, and it didn't move, and it didn't move, and it didn't move because of the way it tracks your location. She texted me. Of course, I'm on the tractor. I'm not paying attention to my phone. I'm too busy focused on doing what I'm doing. Eventually, I look at the phone. I was like, oh, crap. She was within minutes of calling the sheriff's department to do a welfare check on me. Because I told her, I was in joking. I was just like, yeah, I said, if you don't see it moving, I said, the tractor probably flipped over and crushed me out in the field somewhere. Just call the meat wagon. Well, yeah. Now, every time I go out there, I'll be texting her every 45 minutes if I'm by myself. Next week, I'm going out with a friend of mine, so she won't be as worried about that. But when I'm by myself, safety is the number one focus in my mind because I'm by myself. There's nobody there. And if something happens where I can't grab my phone and call, well, there you go. Call the meat wagon.
Yeah. On the same lines, last year we bought a wood chipper. And when my wife was up here, I took her we went to Home Depot. She goes, and she saw the price normally, and she saw the other things, and she got out her phone and she checked it online, make sure that the normal price was the normal price. She checked several other places. Okay, this is a good deal. We got it. When she was here, we used it a bunch. I tried using it once when she wasn't here, and when you put in a big, 2-inch and 3-inch limbs into the feeder, sometimes it yanks and it just kind of pulls it in fast, and it's like, whoa, and it ripped my glove off. One of the little branches, the little stubs on it caught my glove, ripped it off. It's like, okay, that's enough of that. I'm not going to be using this unless there's someone else here with me, which is just the opposite of the safety things. It says, and it says use when alone, when nobody's around. I was like, oh, bull pucky, not going to be using it alone. not going to be, I want someone there as a safety person to watch out over me, because it's, because bad stuff can happen. So that's one of the things that, sometimes, if you're going someplace alone, sometimes it's like, okay, I want to get this done, but it's not safe to do that alone. So I'll do this other stuff I can do alone, and I'll wait to do this other stuff when I actually have someone there. And that's not, sometimes safety overrides being alone. Yeah, you got that right, CR, to spot you. Yeah, semi-rural California's, and not that, well, most of it's not that bad, but some areas it's just, but then again, of course, then you have the government of the socialist state of California changing laws on you left and right and making things harder for retirees. So
just don't live in somewhere in Pennsylvania where you might get shot in the ear,
or be behind someone that might get shot in the ear.
Yeah. There's that too.
And that was the thing. Just before if I started countdown, I was going through the articles on that, looking for any mention of anything about bystanders being hurt, and they were saying nothing. And here's the hang on. I'm going to put this up over here so I can look at it. Okay. Some of the things. So NPR said apparent shots fired at Trump rally. NBC at least was saying, yeah, he, Russia Trump off stage as shots were fired. The Guardian says what we know about reports of shots fired.
Yeah, and they're already coming out with, oh, it was somebody from Antifa. Oh, it was a Chinese dude. Oh, it was this. It was that. Everybody's got their theories already. You know what? You're not going to find out the facts for a while right now.
The thing is, and then some of the other ones, CBS, possible shots fired is their headline.
Yeah.
Reuters at least said multiple shots ring out. So Reuters doesn't, hey, go Brits. Yeah. Some WSJ, not sure which station that is. Apparent shots.
Wall Street Journal.
Wall Street Journal. Okay, yeah, apparent shots. ABC Philadelphia, possible shots heard. Possible shots heard.
I think one shot was at the crowd, maybe a second one, and the rest of them were the shooter getting taken out.
Well, actually, there were two shots that I heard. The first one drew Trump's attention because he looked in that direction. The second one, his hand went up to his ear.
Then that might have been the one that got somebody behind him in the crowd.
Mm-hmm. Or one of the other ones that they totally missed the first one, and the second one he turned his head. But yeah. Oh, and KTLA, idiots. Trump bloodied after apparent shots. All right, Shawnee has a report here. Both the suspected shooter and a third person, a spectator, injured, according to the Guardian. And I didn't get a chance to go into the Guardian and read more in the Guardian. And Suzanne Gilly confirms that, yeah. So, anyways, go ahead and put that down. So, and that's the thing. If you could be at a event by yourself without any family members, and things can happen to you too.
Apparently, our stand-in in DC is making a statement right now, according to my wife.
Camel Toe Harris had nothing to do with it.
Fine. Nothing to see here. And
yeah. Anyways, All right, now shifting to situational awareness, totally here for a little bit. Walking alone at street at night, got to be aware of what's going around you. There's a bunch of times you got to do it. Interesting. I saw a couple reels when I was looking for some cowboy stuff for the grandkids, some cowboy reels, and some of these others kept popping up. And Lewis is okay. Here, Lewis is coming back in. There we go. And so one of the ones showed a little girl out in the front yard, and the big dog sitting on the porch watching her. She's out there by herself. Parents aren't there, but the dog's there. And this guy pulls over, pulls up a little bit, gets out of his car, looks around, goes over, starts to talk to her, goes to grab for her, and the dog launches over the railing off the balcony and nails the guy. But the other one I thought was kind of cool is there was like a little farmer's market, peddler's fair type thing. There's several little things spread out down the street. It wasn't a big one, but this girl's buying an ice cream cone from the one, and the lady's watching people around, and she sees this guy keep on eyeballing her.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, and so she goes running out there when the guy tries to go for her. So
she grabs a girl and brings her to the back and gives her some more ice cream to.
Yeah. Well, there was another one too. That was she just went out there and grabbed the girl, didn't drag her back, took her, just went out, grabbed her hand, and walked down the street past the guy, looking for her parents. That one, the guy was like, "Whoa!" And he just turned around, got back in the car, and they took off. So but there was another one I saw where a guy came out and tried to grab a young college student. Or senior in high school, something 17 to 21-year-old, and went out and started to grab her, and all of a sudden out of the bushes here came a bunch of other guys come running out and started beating on him, and helped escort her back, and they were wearing Letterman jackets. So that's why I'm thinking high school.
That was one of those varsity attacks we all get warned about.
Yeah, except this was just the opposite. This was a varsity rescue.
Yeah, those varsity people, they're so mean and angry and violent. Yeah, look, they beat this guy up for no reason.
Yeah. But so you need to be aware of things. Now, after you suggested this to me, I put it on the schedule. I saw a short on YouTube, and it was talking about something, the Apple AirTag.
Oh yeah.
How people are using that to track somebody. And there were some, and then I went looking on it, and I found some other ones where from CCTVs, like in a bar where some guy was hitting on a girl. She said nothing. He pointed off over there, and he dropped an AirTag in her purse.
Yep.
And then he left.
There's a way to check that on your iPhone too, to see if there's an AirTag nearby.
If you have an iPhone.
If you don't have an iPhone, well, somebody nearby needs to have an iPhone for an AirTag to work.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you don't have an iPhone, you can't check to see if there's one on you. Which is one of those other little stupid things that I don't like what they've done to Apple. Of course, I didn't like Apple that much, anyways. But hey, Ferocious, how's it going? So I mean, and I know there are other GPS tracking devices too. Some that work on Android, some that you can ping and find. Others that are isolated, so you can't check it with any app you can put on your phone. You can't find them at all. So you need to be aware of what some of these scum of the earth are out there trying to do. But Yeah, I know people have been putting them in their rifle cases for ferocious or pistol cases when they fly, so they know exactly where it is. And yeah, people have been tracking that too that way. But you know, we've all seen the TV shows and stuff where someone goes up in a little square box with a little antenna sticking on, a little red light and a switch on it, and they turn it on, they stick it on the bottom of the car. You know, it's kind of, you know, those aren't really that small anymore. And Lewis keeps bouncing out and coming back in here. There we go. So you know, when you're traveling, when you're by yourself, you really got to be, be careful, careful of slipping and falling. You know, my daughter, when she was up at the university up here, first winter up here, yeah, she took and bit the sidewalk a bunch of times before she finally told us that she was falling. And my wife ordered on Amazon some ice cleats, you know, for that she just strap on her shoes and send them to her. Hallie's in the house. Food Forest Permaculture. So yeah,
what's up, Hallie?
If you're out there by yourself, there's, you know, it's the possibilities of something happen to you accidentally or on person by a butthead is big. And of course, if you're driving by yourself, and this is what, you know, I caught some of these and I started, oh, this isn't some of the reels. And also it's like, okay, I'm done watching these reels. There's too many idiots out there driving. You know, all these people with dash cams going along. And the last one I just saw was a 2-lane road, 2 lanes each way, going across the bridge. And it had a wide divider area, like enough for a couple motorcycles to ride down between the painted lines, you know, between the two things. And this person coming the other way was cutting around traffic, and he cut to go around one and lost it and went across the lane and nailed the cab of a truck. And the truck had the front cam going on and had a camera watching her. And she's like, ah! And she tries to sort of line and hits and just hits it, and you see the truck going over, and it plows through the guard railing and starts to drop over, and it's just barely hanging by the kingpin. And it's just right, and the inside, the one inside looking out, I mean the front one's looking down at the water below.
That's
doing everything
right?
Yeah, she was doing everything she was supposed to be doing, and an idiot out there, entitled idiot who thinks, I need to be there. I get to go fast and pass everybody. Nearly kills her.
So I think a lot of safety while you're alone stuff I was kind of focused on was literally when you're alone. There's nobody there to help, nobody to see it, nobody to videotape it, nobody to catch a webcam or a dash cam. Yeah. You're by yourself doing something like a chainsaw in the woods by yourself. If you really got to hyper focus on your safety, because if you don't, one wrong move, ain't nobody coming to help right away. You might get somebody in a couple hours, maybe, depending on where you are. So you really got to be as safe as you possibly can and think about every possible scenario that could go wrong on you by yourself, which I think about that. That's foremost on my mind, except for when I forget to text my wife that I'm on a tractor in the field for 4 hours straight, not really moving anywhere. That'll never get old. I'm sorry. She continually reminds me about that.
Well, talking about chainsaws, and the person wasn't alone, but they weren't being safe at all. He had his brand new electric chainsaw, and there's this little tree about that big around, leaning up over the garage, and there's a little fence between it and the garage. So I don't know if it's probably the neighbor's garage. And he's out there cutting on it, and it's leaning. So the guy's not thinking; he's standing right in front of the lean, and he has the chainsaw, and he's going like this So the blade's right here, so it could come back and get him real easy. But he gets most of the way through it. Then he puts on the other way, starts pulling on it towards himself. Well, as it cuts that last little bit, the leaning tree goes doink and slides down at him, nails him in the woohoo, and puts him on the ground. And he dropped the electric chainsaw. So as soon as he took his hands off, the chain stops moving after a second. And he's down there and he goes, oh, he's laying there and he turns to the wife who's videoing him. And he goes, so much for my new chainsaw. Dude, it's almost so much for you.
Yeah.
Worried about is in the house. Yeah. Yeah. It's just like if you're doing something for the first time, you've never used that particular tool, and it's a powered tool of any kind, A, read the manual thoroughly. B, see if there's any safety videos about it on YouTube or Instagram.
And don't drink the contents of your battery in your car.
No, and don't drink the contents of the automatic oiler.
At high speed.
So it's like, you need to be safe. You need to use the common sense that we're all supposed to have. But, common sense, I think, is like any other skill. You don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, I have one gutter on the second story I need to clean. I may put the ladder up tomorrow, but I won't go up that ladder until my wife's home.
Yeah. That's what I like about some of for some of the taller ones now. They have these nice telescoping water jets. So you can stand on the ground, just look at.
Yeah, mine's beyond water jet. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen them reach a second story roof. So, but I've also seen idiots using those. They get near the corner of the house where the power lines come in.
I'll be fine. It's fine.
Yeah, all the wet leaves blowing up on the shoot, just forget what it's called. The pipe that comes up has the head on it that the power lines go in. It has a specific thing, but they're just blowing crap all over that. You see, it start building up on the wires, and of course, they got the lug wires on. And after a while, the rubber tape disintegrates off it, so you got exposed lug wires and. Yeah. That's another reason right there. Frost is starting on blood thinners. I mean, you gotta, there's a lot of problems there. But there's a lot of serious things. And of course, right now there's another safety thing everybody needs to be aware of. All right, right now it's only 79 inside. However, before about an hour ago, I was outside checking the temperature in the big gauge I got that's been in the shade all day. Sunlight never ever touches it. 105 outside. Hydrate, everybody.
Yep. I did that when I was putting my cabin up 2 years ago in dead of summer. It was around 100, and I'd work a little bit, and I had a 48 quart cooler full of water bottles and ice water and Gatorade and everything else. As soon as maybe about every 15 minutes, I'd stop, go sit down on a tailgate, drink a bottle of water in the shade, calm down a little bit just to cool off. My shirt was soaking wet within 2 minutes. And a long time ago, I literally realized I was on the fire department at the time. I was working on my car in the garage. It was like 100 degrees. I realized while I'm under the car undoing some bolts, I stopped sweating. Ooh. And I realized, because of my Boy Scout training and fireman training, that I realized that, dropped everything and stumbled my way into the air-conditioned house. And my mom looks at me and she's like, "What's the matter?" I was like, "I'm not sweating anymore." Immediately, I'm laying down on the couch in a cool room. She's letting me sip water a little bit, and I passed out after I came back again. I wasn't knocked out or anything like that, but I literally fell asleep after I got hydrated a little bit, and I was a mess for 2 days after that because I dehydrated so bad. It was basically the verge of heat stroke.
Yep.
So since then, never again. I sweat, I drink. I still sweat, I keep drinking anyway. If you're peeing, you're getting enough water. If you stop peeing and stop sweating, you're in big trouble, mister.
Yeah, and the peeing thing is, there's a big thing at Scout Camp. They talk about peeing. What color is your pee? Problem is, if you're taking vitamins,
it's
your
yellow.
Your pee is going to be anywhere, depending on the type of vitamins, anywhere from a bright yellow to an orange. Wait a minute, those are signs that you're dehydrating. And it was like, I'm drinking all day, and we're all drinking and stuff. And I know several of the kids were taking vitamins that their parents had sent to them because they said, these are their vitamins. There's not medical, these are over-the-counter vitamins, blah, blah, blah. And the kids going, my pee's always orange like this. Yeah, are you drinking water? Yeah, that's why I'm peeing so much.
You're fine.
Yeah. And so, yeah, that's it. It's, the other thing, too, is people they don't like to talk about it. If you're peeing and your pee stinks, then you're dehydrated.
Yeah, your body's eating itself up. And drink water, people. Lots of water. Gatorade a little bit. Stay away from the colas and the carbonated stuff. That really doesn't hydrate you. There's too much sodium in there. Yeah. And other assorted chemicals you don't need.
However, you do need to have a certain amount of salt.
Oh, yeah.
And other electrolytes.
Yep.
And contrary to their advertising, a certain one named after alligators has too much sugar in it.
Yep.
Yeah. So, there's safety. And you're alone and you get dehydrated out there. You're boom. Now, you said you were sweating out there working when you were first building the cabin and stuff. I saw just the opposite effect happen a couple times on construction crews. The guy, we'd have several 5-gallon jugs of water, of iced water out there and stuff. And the guys would have like the old military and Boy Scout, plastic canteens on their belts and stuff. And the guys the laborers are just sweating up a storm and they're drinking water all the time. We keep telling them, hey, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. And the boss came out there, I don't want to have an accident, anybody get dehydrating and going into heat stroke. And he goes, all right, good idea. At first he was mad because he's having them going to fill up the canteens and stuff. And he goes, fine, yeah. And when we broke for lunch, a couple of them stood up under a tree that was off the side about 50 feet away from where we're working and stuff. And the breeze was blowing right over. It was on a little rise. The breeze was blowing hard over that, but going right above where we were down in the low spot there. So we didn't have a breeze down below. So they're standing up there going, ah. And after about 5 minutes, all of a sudden they start going like this, because they were still sweating up there when the breeze was going, and that breeze was a cool breeze, and they went into hypothermia. They got too cold.
That's weird.
Yeah, you get hypothermia in the sun, and that's what. If you're in an area that's down where it's hot, but there's a cold breeze elsewhere, you're not getting hit by, and you go stand in it, and your clothes are all wet. What are your clothes going to do?
Oh, they're going to cool you off fast, suck the body heat right out of you.
And that's what happened. And so after that, they started going. We got them back down, got them back warmed up again. All right, nobody stands up there. And if you stay down here where we can regulate, keep an eye on everybody, and you take more water. And Glenn, how the garden's here. So one of the other things too is with my daughter, I got to get with her next time she does it. She likes to go riding around on her bike here. Hey, she's what, 30 something. She likes riding around, and there's a couple people that don't take care of their dogs as far as keeping them locked up. And she got bit a week and a half ago, and so and it's on the one street she drives on. One side of the street is in the city. The other side is in the county. And I told her, hey, I told her once, I mentioned to her, but now I got to get with her and take her up to the thing, get the snake loads for her 9mm. That way, if the dog comes after her, she can just go pop, 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 pop a couple times, and hopefully it'll either take out the dog or at least hurt it enough or it'll leave her alone. Yeah, you got to make sure you're not just drinking water only. Make sure you have the electrolytes. They have some of the electrolyte additives you can add to your waters and stuff. You don't want to put them in a plastic one. You want to put them in a stainless steel mug, thermos, whatever you're drinking from. That way it doesn't the flavorings, for some reason, the flavorings with electrolyte like to bond to the plastic.
Oh, that can't be good.
Yeah, but because it's basically you need that. If it's what the way the electrolytes work to help your body, but plastic's not normal for your body. So, anyways, you got to be careful of some of them, because a certain one that belongs to Wally World, the number one ingredient on it is maltodextrin.
Oh, goody.
Oh, yeah. Let's just spike your glucose level.
You could be wide awake and dehydrated then, yeah.
Well,
or is that considered hyper dehydrated?
That you'd be hyper and dehydrated. But it has some of the ones that have for the electrolytes and stuff. So you're getting some electrolytes, but you're getting and if you're happen to be type 1 or type 2 diabetes, it's gonna screw you over. So that's another safety thing. You got to be careful of what you're putting into your body when you're out doing stuff. Other things for the personal safety, that of course it's summertime now, people are going out for hikes and stuff, nature hikes and things like that. Water, bear spray, other stuff like that.
And in Shadow's case, you got to watch out for those cattails. he's getting beat up by his cattail there.
So personal safety is something, it's a lot of people kind of go, I'm tough, I'm good, I know all about that. Some people forget a lot of stuff. In Boy Scouts, there is the safety merit badge. There is the personal safety merit badge. There is the fire safety merit badge.
Are those new? Because I don't remember having those back in the day.
They've
like within the last 25 years, new.
Yeah. Well, back then they probably they eliminated the tailoring merit badge and put one of the other ones in. But yeah,
all I remember was first aid merit badge. That was the only one I remember.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of if the Boy Scouts puts out so much safety stuff and then there is the totem chip, which is for carrying a knife. There's the fireman chip for just being able to start a fire. And so they have a bunch of different the first couple little aren't merit badges. The fireman chip and totem chip. That's just to become a tenderfoot. You got to get those just to become a tenderfoot. Then you can start working on merit badges. And so they have a lot of the safety stuff. And of course, first aid is something for personal safety everyone should know. And when you're out going about, if you're out going on any type of hike or a bike trip or something, you should have your personal first aid kit with you. Now, you notice I said personal, not individual. To me, an individual first aid kit is generic and usable for anybody. A personal one has the stuff that you need specifically, an EpiPen, any medications you're on that you're going to need, an inhaler, whatever, that's in your personal first aid kit. Yeah.
Hey, Shadow, what time is it there by you? It's got to be like midnight.
It's 2:44 p.m. in the morning.
Oh my God! No wonder why your cat's pissed off.
The cat's going. It's after midnight. It's my playtime.
Yeah. Oh, there he is.
She.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't ask her. I forgot to ask her pronouns.
Mother Earth, actually, when I was, before I got into Scouts, when I could have been in Cub Scouts, they had they had all three going on there in, Future Farmers, I don't think it was FHA, but they had Future Farmers of America, something else going on, and then Boy Scouts, and a lot of the kids were doing all three.
What's FHA? Future Hairdressers of America?
I'm not sure what FHA is. It's my problem. I'm just not thinking. I'm just not associating it. I probably heard about it, but it didn't sink in. 4-H. That was the other one. 4-H. So 4-H. Unless that FHA is 4-H, but there's 4-H and Future Farmers of America and Boy Scouts, and then and around here until they, most of the churches around here dropped Boy Scouts because of their
affiliations. Yeah,
their new Chief Scout.
Future Homemakers of America. Wow. You can't say that anymore.
Yeah. And so so a lot of the churches dropped the scouting program, all there is now is 4-H and Future Farmers of America. However, I'm not sure what it actually falls under 4-H. But there is a lot of rodeo and stuff going on too. Not just the raising the cows, the sheep, the bulls, the chickens, the pigs, whatever. There is the full-on rodeos. In fact, hang on here. I'm gonna have to share this one for you guys. This is so cool, and I got to talk to my daughter after the live stream about this. I'd
love to make a joke about Cub Scouts and Girl Scouts, but I can't on this feed. I'll tell you later.
All right. Where is it? Come on, show it up here. It was just a bunch of them in there yesterday. Gee, everybody's posting everything else here. Coming up here. Dang. Yeah, everybody posted a bunch of stuff that it's Saturday. They're posting out everything that they don't post during the week. There we go. Here it is. 58th annual Little Buckaroo Rodeo coming up in 2 weeks.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah. All right. There's some of them. There are entry registration fees for some of them. However, events, stick pony race, 4 years and under.
Stick pony race.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it.
You know, Monty Python.
Yep.
Okay. Ribbon pole, 4 years and under. Chicken scramble, 5 years and under. No entry fee required. Sheep riding, 5 to 8 years old. Ribbon tie, 5 to 8 years old. Goat roping, 5 to 8 years old. Wild goat milking, 8 to 12 years old. Pig scramble, 8 to 12. Barrel racing, 8 to 12. And they say a horse will be provided. Sheep dressing, 8 to 12 years old. Calf riding, 9 to 12 years old.
Sheep dressing, really? Okay.
No, can you? It's sort of like trying to catch a wild pig when you're trying to put stuff on the sheep.
All right. Are you going to that?
I may take my a couple of my grandsons over to see it if my daughter doesn't.
You need to bring your camera with you. That would be fun little tidbits to show.
If I go, I will be recording it a bunch. But what's interesting here is on this thing here, I've been talking to people. Oh, they have all sorts of safety people out there for that.
I'll bet.
Oh man, there's a lot.
You got little kids and a whole lot of rodeo clowns. Yep.
Yeah. Exactly. And of course, the fire department up in Shelley's going to be down there. The Firth Fire Department's going to be there. An ambulance from the county seat and Blackfoot's going to be up there, and an ambulance from the regional hospital up in Idaho Falls will have an ambulance there too. It's like, okay, which hospital do they go to? Oh, okay, that's the ambulance they load them into. Yeah. And that's the thing too. I've seen reels where, my dad was a professional cowboy. My older sister did barrel racing. I grew up with horses, but so cowboy life is to me is the ideal life. I've seen a bunch of reels of everything from the kids on the Shetland ponies to the preteens to the teenagers and the older than teenagers out there practicing doing their barrel racing stuff. No one else around, but there's unless someone's. But the camera's not moving, so I know the camera's probably just mounted somewhere. And they go around the barrel, the horse falls down, rolls over on them. They go to jump do the jumping over the poles. Kid gets tossed. Kid practice riding the sheep and falls off, gets back up, riding the sheep again, falls off. It's just the sheep. Yeah. And the thing is, so it's like, and I'm looking, okay, there's got to be an adult around somewhere, but the camera is not moving. So I don't know, but there's just some of the safety things, but hey, but by the time some of these kids are 5 years old, they've had sheep roll over them so many times, or horses roll over them. They just shake it off and say, nothing. Whereas some kids from certain schools be going, ow, 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 I broke a fingernail. Sorry. Yes, Shetland ponies can't, if you don't take care of them all the time, they can turn evil. Across the street from where my house in California is, they have 4 Shetland ponies. Those ponies have been there for 15 years. Unless you're there unless the ponies know you, they will bite you. My wife goes over there every couple of days with apples during when the apples are on the trees, and is feeding them. And the one of them she named Miss Piggy because she was chases off the other one. So she sees Miss Piggy come. She throws a couple apples out to Miss Piggy, then hand feeds the other ones. Safety. She gets Miss Piggy away from her so she can feed the other ones, which are nice. Nephew's not even 3 years old. Yeah, they're serious. I've seen some things of kids. I saw a really cool one today. Real, guys. I know this is kind of divert, but it's a little safety thing too. And I thought it was really cool. Kid has a little electric John Deere tractor with a disc unit on it. And so the dad got done doing turning and disking the field, but it's still kind of rough because he hasn't taken the harrow over to really break everything up. Kid's out there with this little thing going along. And the kid goes along and he forgets to take it out of gear. He hops off to grab a rock that he saw. And it keeps going. And he goes, and he turns right in front. And the dad's running out there too to try to get to the little tractor. Because basically he had to try the throttle on just like a John Deere so you can keep it going so you can do different things. But yeah, it was hilarious. Dad was there watching. As soon as something happened, Dad went running out. The kid got to it, got on the tractor, stopped it, went back and got the rock. It was funny. Oh, any horse, especially quarter horses, will do that. My dad and his best friend when I was growing up, George Duke. Everybody had horses. It would do that, and it would didn't matter who's on him, would go over and either scrape you off on the side of the barn, or try to scrape you, knock you off by going underneath the low limbs. And so my dad took a cattle prod out there, rode it, started going, and next to him the horse saw that and they're like, "What's that?" Next I got it and it got a little closer to the building, but zap, hit that horse. That horse, my dad was riding for a minute till the horse calmed down. Next time, horse was wandering like next to the horse's ear. Horse moved about 10 feet away from the barn. And after several times, he stopped trying to rub people off on the barn. But the branches, having to duck and stuff, my dad couldn't do that, so he put saddlebags on the horse with batteries in it. Put a hot wire underneath the seat and zapped it a couple times, and then stopped going around the trees. Yeah. Yeah. My mom had a horse that nobody could ride called Star Baby. One blue eye, one green eye. She would stand there and you'd saddle her up. My dad would get on her, instant bucking like we wouldn't believe. My sister get on her, instant bucking like you wouldn't believe. George would get on her, horse would sit down and roll him off the back. Literally, the horse would start and just sit. And the only one that could ever ride it was my baby brother, and that was because he was always out there feeding it, and he rode it bareback a couple times, and my mom freaked out. So after that, he's like, "No, you don't go riding Star Baby. Star Baby, we don't know when Star Baby will turn on you." But sometimes kids have no fear and they don't take safety precautions, and that's things like that happen. But Star Baby never did hurt Jeff. Other things to do for safety here before we wrap it up. Make sure you have first aid kit with you in your car, hiking, whatever. Couple interesting points here, health-wise, for everybody here. Another report came out, and I got to find it. Someone referencing it, and they said the link was in below. Unfortunately, it was on their Instagram side, so it wasn't showing up on the Facebook Reel side, the information about it. All the sunblocks have all these friggin' chemicals on it, which are carcinogens. And some of them have, what's it called? I forget what it's called. It's like orange oil, lemon oil, do the same. They cause it to go through the skin into you. But what they have something in there, some of the scents they use in there to make the sunblock smell not so bad. Actually helps these things get into your bloodstream. So
it's like a surfactant. It's like a surfactant or something.
Yeah, but it's called some sort of transmit. It's something they talk about where it carries a transmit carrier or something where it carries it into the bloodstream. But long sleeve shirts, I haven't worn a short sleeve shirt and outside. I haven't worn a short sleeve shirt. No, 92.
I can't wear long sleeve shirts. I wear a short sleeve shirt. I get the farmer's tan from hell.
Yeah,
always have.
Well,
always will.
That's why I like these nice. I get the real lightweight ones for summertime, so it's not too hot. But the other thing out there too, mosquitoes and stuff, especially with all the like on the midnight ride, I talked about some of the stuff out there, the ticks and stuff. But there's interesting things for mosquitoes and other biting bugs. Vanilla with vanilla extract with a little bit of cinnamon in it supposedly keeps it away. Several people were saying, yeah, it works absolutely fabulous.
I'll have to try that out. But not fake vanilla extract, real vanilla extract, the expensive stuff.
Yeah, you don't want the beaver butt juice on you because that'll probably attract more. Yeah. Hey, checked off. Yeah, wide brim hat. I have a couple of them out there, and I've got the boonie hats now for the grandsons. When they come over, they got to wear the boonie hats when they go outside. Because Danny and Oliver are getting the brown neck, white shoulders.
My aunt didn't know I tanned when I was very young. She literally was screaming, trying to scrub my arms, thinking I was dirty. And my mom's like, he gets tan. What? And I was crying. She was scrubbing my arms so hard.
Yeah, so Kevin goes for the light colored ones too. Yeah, the light colors reflect it, and the thin fabrics that breathe allow air to go through and stuff. All right, so we're hitting the top. Well, we're past top of the hour here. Coming up here on Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound, the topic is high acid canning. So we're going to be talking about that and the rules and regulations of rebel canners for that. Tuesday here for on GrayManPrepping, we're going to be talking about fish mocks and other over-the-counter medications that you can get and should be storing, and which ones have longer shelf lives than what they say they have. And so, but I'm going to change the name of it before I do Tuesdays, because if I put fish mocks in the name of it, the AI is going to go, oh, no, and kill it the second I try to go live with it. Thursday is the midnight ride. Friday, the heck? Oh, something happened here. I lost it. Dang it. Okay, Friday was supposed to be teaching home something, and it got EC. Something happened. I must have clicked on it. I lost part of it. Something about teaching something at home for. Teaching home ec to today's youth.
Yeah, home good luck with that.
Yeah. Something they used to teach in schools, and now there may be a few schools that do it, but most of them don't do it now because, oh, that's gender stuff. You can't teach that.
Yeah, we can't use a sewing machine because somebody might get hurt and sue the school. Yeah. Can't do wood shop because somebody might get hurt and sue the school.
In my high school, a couple of the boys signed up for home ec. Well, that's what the girl. I want to learn how to do that. And they go, okay. So they let a couple of guys get into the home ec class. So it was co-ed now.
I took home ec in 3 years, and then I took nothing but cooking classes for the next 4 years. Yeah. And yeah, look what I wound up. Oh yeah, I'm a raccoon chef now.
Next Saturday here, we're going to be talking about cattle for preppers. And there are more cattle than what you know to choose from. I wish I had been taught welding in school. Yep. Thompson have offered it all. Have you heard about diseases from ticks called alpha-gal?
Is that the one that makes you like allergic to beef or something? You get bit by the Lone Star tick. One of the ticks get bit by that, and you can't stand eating beef anymore or something.
Yeah, that's one of the allergy for it or whatever. But yeah. All right, so. All right, we're going to wrap it up here now. Thanks, Mark and Shadow, for coming up here.
Good to see you, Shadow. It's been a while. I mean, a couple hours.
Yeah, I was outside working in the shop trying to get stuff to put, putting together PVC valves for my watering system. Basically, it screws onto the hose bib, and it comes over and it's got full flow ball valves, and then a 3/4 inch iron pipe to a garden hose threads on, so I get full flow to my
nice
to my hoses instead of the most of the ones you buy in the store. If you look at it, it's like, oh, that's a 3/8 inch opening in there.
Yeah, but it's a 1/2 inch ball valve. Yeah, sure. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So anyway, so I was working on that. I totally lost space on the time I came back in, and you were, oh, okay, I missed that. Crap, I'll have to do the replay tomorrow.
We had some fun conversations.
Yeah. So everyone, remember, stay happy no matter what life throws at you. Stay safe. Don't go out and do anything foolish. Keep adding to your preps: water, food, medicine, clothing. Learn a new skill. Grow some food. Seriously, if you don't have a garden going, start it. If you don't have garden space, see about getting those indoor garden kit things where you can grow stuff indoors. And I'll see you hopefully Monday for high acid canning on Camp Patton Family Compound.
Hey. And I put my first video up today.
Yeah, I saw your first video. You're short on the eggs.
I emailed it to you. I'm like, okay, I got to at least tell them. At least I put a video. It's only 30 seconds, but you know what? The second one will be cracking that egg.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, everyone. See you around.
Thanks, everyone.